We're dealing with the Precision Brew series of PB brewers made by Grindmaster. That includes the PB, the PBVSA, and the PBIC. You have the 330 version, which is shown here, and the 430 version, which is dual. The programming is still the same, whether it's a single or a double brewer. You access your programming on the front faceplate. You have the up arrow and the down arrow. You press and hold both arrows in for about 5 seconds. All three of your lights will flash. You have full brew, half brew, and quarter brew. So we want to change the settings in the full brew. So we push the green button, and the first parameter is degrees Fahrenheit, which obviously is going to be your tank temperature. If we hit the green button, it will show that our tank temperature is set to 202 degrees. Next, we have energy mode. Energy mode, if it's enabled, if there's 3 hours of non-activity, your tank temperature will go and stay steady at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And right now, our energy saving mode is off. Next is LTN, which stands for low temp, no brew, which means that if this is enabled, you cannot brew a batch of coffee unless you are above 185 degrees. And on this particular machine, this is off. Then we have drip time. Our drip time is the amount of time the brewer takes to completely drain the brew after the brew valve closes. Factory default is usually 50%, so if it's set for 1.5 gallons, the basket will remain locked for 2 minutes after the brew valve closes, which will allow an appropriate drip time. So as we go through, we see that our drip time is only set for 40 seconds. So after the brew, for an additional 40 seconds, it's going to allow drip before the brew lock solenoid disengages. Our ratio depends on your spray head. You either have a standard spray head or a gourmet spray head. Gourmet spray heads are specially ordered. So if you didn't specially order a spray head, then you're going to have a standard. Next is brew time. Brew time is obviously the amount of time that it takes to brew your batch of coffee. On this particular machine, the full batch brew time is set for 4 minutes. Then we have pre-infusion. Pre-infusion is the amount of pre-infusion designed for the batch of coffee. It is an initial shot of hot water which starts the extraction process for the coffee, and it is factored into your brew time. And right now our pre-infusion is at 1 minute and 45 seconds. Next is our pre-infusion off time. That is set for 1 minute. Next we have pulse brew. The pulse brew they can be set up to 10 pulses, and each number of pulses you can also control the time, and this also gives you a controlled amount of water used to extract your coffee. Right now this machine is set on 3 pulses. So our pulse on is the amount of time that the brew valve is open on a pulse, which is 40 seconds. The amount of pulse off is the time that the brew valve is closed. That's 40 seconds. And then our bypass. There is a particular bypass valve that whenever the bypass is initiated, water simply goes through this slot right here. It goes around the coffee and it never actually comes in contact with your coffee, and it is simply bypassed and it comes out straight out of the output right here into your vacuum shuttle. And you'll see that there's a particular bypass tab right there where the bypass water comes out. Our bypass is set at 15%. We can do up to 33%. And then copy to left, which is not applicable on this because this is a single-sided brewer. But if we had double, we can copy this particular format over to the left-hand side. And of course, that's on no. So I'm going to go to the medium brew just to show the different function right quick. So again, press up and down, hold for about 5 seconds, all 3 lights flashing. I hit medium. First I come is going to be brew time, which is obviously the time that I'm going to have to brew. It's 3.25 seconds. I'm going to have my pre-infusion, which is going to be set to 1 minute. I have my pre-infusion off, which is set to 1 minute. My pulses are set to 4, so I'm going to have 4 distinct pulses. Pulse on time is 30 seconds. Pulse off time is 30 seconds. My bypass is off for my medium brew. And of course it gives me the option to copy to left too, which is not applicable on this. So remember, we have pre-infusion on for a minute, off for a minute, 4 distinct pulses of 30 seconds on and off. So when I get back and I'm ready to brew a shot, I just push start. My brew lock solenoid comes in to where no matter what, I cannot remove my brew basket until this lock solenoid disengages. And the counter is just simply in seconds. So it's not seconds and minutes, it's just a counter which counts by seconds. So my particular pre-infusion time starts. And again, that's going to be for a minute, and then it will be my 4 distinct pulses. After the last pulse, whatever remaining amount is needed to bring to a half will be released by the dispense valve, and then it will leave me a drip time at the end. And that is how you program your precision brewer.